Drama is around us everywhere in our favorite game, Call of Dragons, aka Call of Drama. So, a lot of stuff has happened today in Server 32, so it only makes sense for us to cover it in Call of Drama. So, in today's video, we'll be discussing what happened between SEALs, aka now MILF Hunters, BD family, DS, NK, and even ANCS, and how this entire scenario came to happen. So, stick around because this is gonna be a long video. What is up guys, MEOWER here back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. Or should I say, a new Call of Drama video. We're finally gonna be discussing episode 3 because a lot of stuff has happened, which kinda hurts me to see because this happened between both groups that I consider my brothers and my family. So I'll try to be as neutral as possible in this, but let me just straight off say betrayal sucks. Both sides betrayed each other in their own eyes, and we'll just be going over what really happened on both sides and what led up to this. And there is no excuse for betraying, let me just flat out say it. There's always a way or another to work things out, but what's happened happened, and what really matters for us is just to get to the juicy stuff. So I'll start off this video by showcasing some context on what the seals were, what really happened with BD at the end of last season, how everything became what it is now. So, if you guys don't know, Legionus is the leader of the SEALs. He was one of the more vocal people about moving towards the SEALs and such. So, we're gonna be starting off this video with a statement from him and then work our way through the screenshots, what happened, why, what happened. So, um, starting off, Legionus, I asked him a few questions. He's just gonna give some context. So, the reason why SEALs were formed and why they left the end of the season. SEALs were originally formed as BDD, Blood Degens, after the second season in S32. They were tired of Blood leadership, harboring non-fighters with the family to tank all the downtime alone. Some context, these guys usually are away from the peak time of BD, so that's why they felt a little bit hard. I was watching them. Usually their uptime is my uptime as well. They're a bit Asian time or Australian time or whatever. I don't know what that time zone is. So they're a bit opposite to BD's peak time. So they were a bit tired of that. They approached leadership team at the time to move out of 32. They were going to migrate out. They were sidelined. The original 5 others, if you don't know, the original 5 are Sinrail, Legionus, Pause, Heisenberg, and ASD. They are the original 5 of the group. Just gonna give some names here just to give some context, because a lot of context is needed, because I don't want any misinformation spread out, because like I said in the beginning of the video, both sides were mistaken from BD side and SEAL side, albeit some people did more mistakes than others, and I'll get to that later in the video, but it's important to get some context of what happened and what led to that. So after that group was formed, they set up to leave and they were going to migrate out of S32, but they had a conversation with one of the leadership, one of my main brothers does, to stay. They did stay for in S32 to help out one more season, and then after that they were gone, which is the end of this season. They were pretty much gone anyways. Season 3, they met up with the SEALs. SEALs are a group of players from S31 led by Escuro, and then SEALs and the Legionist group, or the Blood Degens, kind of formed up their own alliance and then became known as BDSL, and then afterwards SEALs. They have every intention to migrate still, but they stayed either way just for the bros and help out with the last season and everything. Like, a lot of stuff happened behind the seals, behind the scenes, behind the scenes, but still. I don't want to get too personal as well, because some of that information I don't feel like they will be happy to let it out. But still, either way, they started working with our new mates, love their activity, fighting spirit in the end, internal politics, blah 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 blah. They continued to pressure then our members into Discord, and were unhappy about us having a separate Discord. Mind you, were also numerous to that them, and they were not respected until Does. Which, big shout out to Does. He's my brother. He was always advocating for them, and he put his neck on the line for them which in the end didn't really go the way he expected, or really not the way any of us expected, but you're gonna have to stick around to the rest of the video to find out what really happened. Now, all this content conflict has been a part of BD Daily politics since season 1. They're tired and they want it out. They want to enjoy the game instead of being covert and play it to work for them under their brand, for their glory. It was either leave our own journey or quit the game. Even that, we're being frowned upon by the almighty BD. The amount of nonsense Does had to go through to let them know we're entitled to our right to enjoyment, which is true. Does has been getting put into the grinder ever since he had to take over BD. So a big shout out to him, and please, nothing but respect for him. My guy has been through a lot, and he's still my brother no matter what happens. Issues we had, BD refused to migrate at the end of season 2, and they were adamant to stay in S32. They wanted out of Silver 32. They didn't recognize they had dead weight, which, to be fair, BD themselves, leadership, they know there's a lot of dead weight there, but it is not my place to call out any names. They thought people were fighters. They thought people leaving were fighters they could afford to lose. What happened now? BD is going to migrate anyways. They recognize the waste problems they have. They realize their players couldn't afford to lose, but some lost some of the lens and trouble took conclusion of 1 and 2. What happened with Potato and Co. So this is just a pretext of what led to the SEALs formation. Now, what happened? For those of you unaware, there is an alliance called ANCS. It was led by a person called Potato Farmer. Those guys became BD's allies for the season because the server was pretty much going to be split in two. BD family versus DS, the rivalry since the game started, and then whoever picks up the other side's allies are just gonna pretty much guaranteed a higher percentage of winning. So since MF joined, they had a player in leadership that was close friends with NK and DS leadership. It made sense for them to side with NK and DS. Meanwhile, BD had the SEALs. They had to make an alliance with ANCS, aka Ancients, and with their leader Potato now, but his real name is Potato Farmer. So what happened? Because the main argument that started was between SEALs and Potato. Mainly, I'll showcase all of that in conversations and screenshots of what happened, but still, what happened between them was they were allies to BD, originally discussed potentially to join as Shell to form a strong alliance. Now, to note, most of the stuff will sound extremely childish, which I do agree. Still, I do fault SEALs for what happened, and I also fault BD for letting it simmer for this long, and in the end, having it all explode. And I also fault Potato for being just so rude about the whole thing. But yeah, they were allies to BD. They originally discussed to join a Shell, form a stronger tier alliance to fight our opponents. Conversation had started turning away when they suggested for our players on T5 to work under them. If you don't know, SEALs and Potato have had a rough relationship. They pretty much can't get along. Just too much clashes between them, and it is what it is. You can't get along with everyone. And then even they have screenshots of Potato threatening and talking down to other smaller alliances, aka Enwa and Lopek. Potato Farmer has trash talked them both. I will showcase, maybe there aren't in screenshots here, I don't know, but I will try to showcase every single screenshot. Given that their active fighters and members comprise majority of T5, I respect each of their wishes and decisions, of which of them made it clear that they don't want to repeat another experience from certain leads or worse. They told Potato that the fact they're not happy to be under leadership of a free-to-play account or be given free T5 accounts with bad attitude, things started from on. So, if you don't know, there are a few accounts that are piloted by other players as the main spenders are not there, but still, it is what it is. You can't really force anyone to sell their account or give it away or whatever it is. Just happened. And then Potato has been demeaning and slandering as the season went on, and especially as we specifically stopped all direct communications with him and his team and have BD interact with them. After a while, BD just became the intermediary between the SEALs group and the NCS group. Our job in the final zone was to give support and push the other alliances to the north. NCS, having merged with BD, was to be responsible for fighting in KNTS. Due to poor war strategies and their deep-rooted activity issues, they couldn't hold the SNNK. Well, yes, this, uh, yes, some mistakes happened in the field. It is what it is, you know. NK and DS usually do wake up at the end of the season when the fight really matters, so, you know, they still lost in their previous zones. Now, Potato used the perfect opportunity to spin and blame us as the betrayer and allies after all we've done to the season. The grief, politics, and drama, sweat, sleepless hours have been fighting top merit contributors in the wars and cold allies to our enemy. It didn't help that when we confronted him in BD Discord, we were muted and had our screenshots of Potato blaming us on Belleron deleted. Meanwhile, Potato was allowed to continue taunting with gifts on band. They tried to mediate in DMs, and all that was requested of him to retract the statement on Belleron. Potato continued to hurl personal insults and gaslight about to never retract that statement. Even we said we were begging him for an apology when what they were offering was an olive branch to keep things proper till the end of the season. Potato wanted to burn it all, and so we give him that. They declared war on NCS and people who harbor and enable their toxicity. So, now, which leads to the messed up part and the biggest mistake Seal could have done, the relationship with NK and DS. NK and DS are just the main rivals of BD, so let me just give some context here. Some SEALs are super close with NK and DS leadership. I'm even friends with NKR5 Gabe. I like the guy. He's funny. He's fun to interact with. But that is as much as I'm involved in this particular part. They currently have no direct relationship with NK and DS. They have been opponent for us for 3 seasons. They're very tough opponents, very toxic members, but their relationship was never openly toxic to Legionist or the other R5 or 4s, nor have I been blamed or guilt-tripped by them. I can't say the same for a specific BD leader who has been passive-aggressive to us since we left them quietly. MF and DS have mentioned on multiple occasions that SEALs have been an integral part, making their pushes on offensives difficult because SEALs are usually online on the uptime of SEALs in the downtime of BD, so it's tough to gauge what really happens in that period. Before the thing happened and they caught wind that behind the scenes the narrative was being spun and we're going to be scapegoat, after Potato finally began the smear campaign, we reached out to NKDS. We wanted to burn ANCS but have anticipated BD would support them because of their intentions, which is where Seals is absolutely wrong here. I fault them completely for this part, but I also fault BD for letting Potato spring his mouth up. No matter what, you don't let allies trash talk other allies for whatever the reason. Even if it's weird for some players, from others it's hurtful. So you have to hold the stick from the middle. You can't just let someone do whatever they want, and then when consequences happen, they say, "Oh, they're bad" or everything. Every single action has consequences to it. So they wanted to burn ANCS, but have anticipated BD would support them because of this. Their intention is certain group to split and merge with the NCS simply due to BD not having enough actives on their own, then using those from NCS to migrate with them if possible. SEALs have no chance but to be burned out by BD, thus NK and DS chose to help us in our conquest to prove BD chose the wrong ally to support. BD betrayed us when they had to choose ANCS over us, people who have given almost 7 months of fighting time against the hardest opponent they faced during that downtime, and even so, they only asked for one thing: Potato's head. Potato really did set up a time bomb here, but still, I don't want to paint any villains, but yeah, again, formulate your opinion on your own. Plans moving forward. They are just going to continue to migrate to a smaller server to look for friends that actually value our contributions, not to be taken for granted or having people feel like they're entitled to us covering for their slack. Most of us are all active fighters, and we only ask the people that were fighting for fight with us and not leech off us and then blame us. They will go to places that need their fighting abilities. They will fight for them to win the dragon, enjoy the game, avoid political drama as the best that they are able to, treat us right, and will be among the easiest and best fighters you find to work with. Now, the relationship with Duz. It is absolutely crucial to establish that Duz, the leader of BD, is pretty much caught in the crossfire between his friends and brothers and his alliance and duties as a leader. He's been pretty much caught in the crossfire in this, so I hope he's okay. Now, the relationship between BD will not exist without Duz. The only reason why the SEALs, or rather Legionnaires and the group, stayed in S32 was because Duz asked them to. Um, the whole of us who only worked with BD through this till turning point was because of Duz being involved with BD. He believes that we had a chance to win. They do disagree, but they still stuck with him nonetheless. So I will give them that, but that doesn't give them the excuse to go seek out help from their worst enemies, aka NK and TS. However, as expected, with this move, Duz and us will part ways. It is very sad. It's tearing me apart, because I don't know if you know or not, but I am in that group. They're all my friends, so he's pretty much been put into an impossible position, and at some point, everyone has to choose something. As expected with this move, Duz and us will part ways. He's made it abundantly clear that he has responsibilities as a leader, and their decisions have put him into a possible position, so I don't blame him for choosing to become the leader over choosing to salvage an already messed up situation. At some point, you gotta move on, and some situations cannot be salvaged. Again, people make the choice, and he chooses ANCS. He chose BD over ANCS, but it's unfortunate. But kudos to him for sticking to what he believes in. Responsibility is nothing too bad to say about the man. He's great, but sadly he chose the hose. I'm not sure if I can even say that. But whatever, we don't edit on this channel. We just post it as it is. For now, it's goodbye. So who knows if we'll get over this eventually, but that I'll say will be up to him. So the most part that breaks my heart in all of this was the situation with Duz, because as you guys are all aware, Duz is my brother. I love the guy, nothing but respect for him, and I will follow him anywhere. At the same time, most of the SEALs are my brothers as well, so it's just a tough situation overall, and hopefully things work out. Now, we're going to be reviewing some of the screenshots that really led up to this. Potato just doing the impersonation of the Conor McGregor meme, where he'd like to take the moment to apologize. That is earlier today, after the things started boiling up. He would like to take this moment to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double potato does what he wants. Um, Here, potato is just flaming seals in general. If only your it will be as big as your eco, it will actually be enjoyable. And potato here with another hi. He's just antagonizing them over and over again. Like, you can't just keep antagonizing your allies and not expect them to eventually blow up in your face. By the way, this is an amazing name. I have been calling him that since I saw that name. And now for the Discord buff. Now, some of these are extremely old screenshots, but you know, this I'm not really sure of the full context here, but Potato has been threatening Lopek and Inwa. They have been keeping it secret to go to and let me handle all territory things blockade need to handle by him. It's only you and Inwa going to next zone, but we don't need go to know this yet. This needed to stay secret between NCS, Lopek, and Inwa. Well, why did I get informed? That again would have stopped this drama. The only reason we agreed to do more was because the plan to kill Koto. You have been informed, everything has been informed. It says I am R5 on Lopec. I'm bored, but I am not. I don't get told. I just am used to it. So Lopec is one of the alliances that got caught in the crossfire as well. Just this is the leader of Lopec discussing with Potato being put in the pedestal like this. Next up, dear ANCS members. Many of you will receive this message. Please reply to them with similar note. Thank you for their ancient way leaderships. I don't want you to do this to backstab us for not exactly to merge to them. Hey, SEALs have become. We need your help to build and fight. SEALs, just come back, help us. You come back home after us. No strings attached. Like, I don't see anything wrong with this message. Like, just asking someone to help, nothing wrong there. And now some conversations between some of the BD leadership with others of the SEALs. So right now, some precedent has been being set up that SEALs will be part of the scapegoats. As mentioned here, Silver Sword is one of leadership of BD and BDM in general. But here, Paz was voicing complaints about ANCS. Then Silver replies with this: I realize you're a bit fed up with them, but not thinking like this. First thing we should do is find out how many resources they have entering Zone 3, how many resources it will take to get the job done. I'm not concerned with the execution of the plan, that's not my role in this. I'm only concerned if there's actually possible from their shell. If it's not, then we should find a way to or shall make it possible. If it can't be possible to major and not to them, I will be blaming, but the one stood into the way of making this achievable to begin with. And then Paul's just asking, maybe reach out to them to the point they refuse to join us to build, which is impossible for us to keep building up. We have overall spread, so we need more builders. We might have to punch, but lack members. If anything, deal with the NCS informed Chiz so he can talk to Legions about the plan, about this back and forth spawn this, our best case scenario since the refuse to join was consolidate to fight to Zone 3, which is happening right now within the next uh, 24 hours. Judging from this, it's clear that no one has any idea what's going on with the NCS, or someone does, and there's zero communication among us. So I hope someone BDC can help resolve this because clearly they're not working with us and making it difficult to do anything. Next up, between Legionist and Potato. Um, some shade being thrown here and there. You know, Legions, they call them free-to-play leadership, so that's that. I'm not truly sure on the time frame who called what when, but yeah. Just usual drama. And then running a middle in the alliance here. A different managing alliance, high performing T5s, T6s. No, this is a bit toxic by Legion, it's not gonna lie. But yeah, how's performing T5 and T6 it's by an alliance free leadership in a room fight? That part doesn't really make sense to me. And the funniest thing, we have one of our T5s show up. I think your credit card swiping abilities made you believe you are invincible. Sad think what money can do to some people, unfortunately. Some back and forth here and there. Next up, I don't understand either, especially since Lowback should be alliance where all people are going to. It's the best shell. The alliance will advance next to zones. Right there. This whole goes up against each other, don't trust each other, and blah, 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 blah. I've been discussing the whole situation needs to stop now. At some point, we'll be resurging engines back, and every single one of you will be pushed to zone 1 and will be stuck there for the rest of the season. If you ever think about researching to a different region, we'd send people over, keep you stuck in that zone for the entire duration of the season. We've been giving every single one of you more than you actually deserve based off power, activity, leadership, etc. I truly don't care if you all see me like the boogeyman here or whatever, but if you cannot, for whatever reason, I appreciate all the things that have been said here. Blah blah blah. Rule number 1: don't bite the hand that feed you. I believe this was in discussion between Potato and the other smaller alliances. And now for some more discussions between Legionist and Potato Farmer. Care less about the seals. I've already showed their abilities and their allies. It's one of the reasons you not rather not merge with you guys. Mm-hmm. I think you should be a bit more empathetic and try to look from things someone else's perspective. Like it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on, arguments and upon arguments upon arguments. And now the final 2 screenshots. Some plan was being proposed from the go-to side to ANCS. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like the whole thing is just a drama-fested 5-year-old stuff. I don't like how it went on. just a severe disappointment watching all my friends fight among each other for such a small reason. Uh, oh, there's already some stuff here going on here and there. And yeah, like what's happened, like there is no excuse for SEALs accepting NK in, but at the same time, the moral of the story is don't let both your allies trash talk each other and then react after stuff starts hitting the fan. Like, let me know what you guys think about this. I'm pretty sure it's incredibly juicy stuff, but I am happy to be able to let it all out. Again, big shout out to Duz. I'm sure you're in a horrible position. Big shout out to you, my brother. I'm here if you ever need me. And the same goes for the SEALs. They're also my bros. I cannot pick a side here. Everyone here is a friend or a brother, one way or another. And on that note, I will leave you to formulate your own opinion on this. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, I will just let you meet some here and there, some name calling here and there, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Meow meow.